Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the show. Now, just a quick interruption to your normally scheduled episode. If you wish more people knew you, trusted you, and actually reached out wanting to work with you, this is for you. Most experts try to post more, shout louder, or chase attention. But the truth is, clients don't come from content. Clients come from real connections. And that's why we built the Profitable Podcast System. We'll help you create your own simple relationship driven podcast that brings the right people into your world, builds trust fast, and turns amazing conversations into clients, content, impact, and opportunities, and all without you becoming a marketer or an influencer. So, you don't need a big audience. You just need the right people hearing your voice, feeling your energy, and thinking, okay, I get you. I trust you. I need to work with you. So if you want a proven way that actually grows your business, not just your to-do list, head over to profitablepodcast.com and we'll show you how this will work for you. And now, onto your scheduled podcast episode. So, today we have this Joel Salomon, the founder of Salomon Management, a prosperity coaching business who helps people rewrite their money stories and create true financial freedom. Through prosperity coaching, speaking, workshops, masterminds, and his books, Joel guides people to break through limiting beliefs, align mindset with money, and manifest abundance with more ease and more joy. Now, Joel's journey from managing $700 million portfolio on Wall Street to becoming known as the Money Doctor demonstrates that financial wisdom and inner transformation can work powerfully together, and while helping people move from poverty consciousness to prosperity. He's on a mission to reach at least 100,000 people, grow his Money Miracles Mastermind, and continue to spread the message on stages, through books, and through his service. Joel, welcome to the show.
Mark, thanks so much for having me. It's indeed an honor and a pleasure to be here today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. So, to kick us off, can you expand just a touch more on, where you are today with your business and who is it that you truly love to work with?
So, I have three different pillars. I teach people how to, as you mentioned, change their money mindset. A lot of people come to me, spiritual, heart centered entrepreneurs who were taught lies growing
Mm,
up around money. We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's too expensive. Or maybe, like me, they were screamed at by their parents if they left the light on in their room. Joel, we're not a shareholder of Long Island Lighting Company. Shut that light off. Right? Those words did not serve you. They didn't serve me. They
mm,
are words of limit and scarcity, lack and poverty consciousness, and we are living in a world that's literally bursting with resources. In fact, right now on this earth, there's more than $500 trillion of net worth if you add up all businesses and individuals. So
uh-huh.
there's so much resources. Plus, it's the first time in history that you have access to over 8 billion people right here on your phone. It's amazing. There's so much abundance and prosperity everywhere you look. And yet we've been taught, well, if I'm spiritual, I shouldn't care about money. If I'm a good person, I should be okay with just getting by. Right.
Mm,
And so I work on, first of all, with the money mindset. Second of all, I teach people how to, and I know some people get triggered by this, manifest money. It's just when surprise money or unexpected monies come in. And I have 12
mhm.
different techniques, proven techniques that have helped my Money Miracles mastermind group generate over $2,547,000 in the last 3 years. My individual fast track coaching clients have generated over $6.5 million in the last 6 years. And so I teach those techniques. And then the
Mhm.
third pillar is, as you mentioned, I'm a former hedge fund manager, shut down my hedge fund to coach. And so I also teach investing. And what I've also found is these heart centered entrepreneurs who I teach about how to change their money mindset need help on marketing, need help on
Mhm.
how to reach out to people, how to get more visible. And they don't have a strategy, they don't have a business plan, they don't know the numbers generally. And so I've been helping them with that too. So those are the three pillars. It's mindset, manifestation, and investing. slash business strategy.
Fantastic. So let's break those three apart because there's obviously the mindset is fantastic. The manifesting is the sort of the spiritual side, and the investing is the action. So to change yourself, to allow to shift your vibration, to play with God, universe, and source. But then I have to say this: it's a dance. It's like a salsa, a tango with the universe, with God, with source. You have to play your role. That's why mindset, fantastic. Manifesting, absolutely. You can't just sit on a hill and manifest things into your life. You have to play your part. Well, that's what I truly believe. So it sounds
I
like you've got
completely
these.
agree with you. I
So
completely agree with you, Mark. And what I say in my speeches, what I say in my books, what I say to my individual and group coaching clients is that I don't know any billionaires who just sit at home and meditate and visualize all day.
mm. Okay,
But I
so
also,
Joel, so
yeah,
why do people want that? Why have people been sold that? Because right now you've said, what a time to be alive. You've got unlimited resource, unlimited information, and unlimited access. But so many people have been sold the dream. You just have to do this when no, there is the holistic view. So what's going on to make people think that they can just manifest, for example?
well, manifesting is just having unexpected money come in. And if you're just in the fetal position on your bed, visualizing and meditating, you can't be reached by the other 8 billion people. So even just doing this, just getting on a podcast, you're getting more visible, you're getting access to many more people, right?
Mm,
And and we're sitting home in our homes doing this, but we're getting online, right? And so taking action breeds clarity. Taking action breeds clarity. If you're not doing any action, you don't know what's going to work. As we talked about before we got on the show, there's many different ways to create abundance, right? And it
hmm
could be a podcast, it could be speaking on a stage, it could be helping others one-on-one coaching, it could be helping others in group coaching, it could be writing a book. And so, but if you do none of those, you don't know what's going to work, right? And so taking action breeds clarity. My mentor, Mike Dooley, will say, just try a lot of different things and take the least sucky path.
Well, you'll come off the back of an episode where we spoke about we have to take action, but we have to play with this and to be able to say, you know what, I tried that. That's not for me, or that didn't work.
Right.
That's such an important part of this. So your action equals clarity, but also listening to yourself with what you want to do, how you want to do it. Um,
Right. What feels good. And trust rule number two in the 9 money rules millionaires use, my second book, is trust your intuition.
mm,
So yes, trust your intuition and take some action and see where you're getting momentum, right? If
mm.
and what feels good, right? What I talk, yeah, again.
I was gonna say, when you said intuition, I want to pause there because I'd love your take on this. Trust your intuition. Yes, absolutely. That's fundamental as a human and a business owner. But we can misread the signposts, or we can trick ourselves because when we come across something, it can either be fundamentally the wrong thing for me, or this is just feels really uncomfortable. And sometimes we want to avoid uncomfort, so we say, "Oh, that's not right for me," when actually it's the right thing. It just feels uncomfortable. How do you help people to maybe tell the difference between those two signs?
Great question. And there's techniques. So first of all, you can develop your intuition, right? It's
Hmm
just another muscle. So I used to go to the gym and do my curls to develop my bicep, right? So
hmm
just practice, 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 and get that bicep bigger. So the same thing with intuition. You're making hundreds, if not thousands, of decisions every day. So start with something small.
Uh-huh.
I'm in New York. You're on the subway platform. The local train's sitting there. The express is coming in a few minutes. What do? Local express, express local. Trust your intuition. Maybe Yeah, I used to take my daughters to school when they were younger, and we had
Yeah.
options. We could take the highway, we could take the local roads, or we could hitchhike. Just kidding.
Mm.
So normally, where my intuition was telling me to take the highway, but there was one particular morning the highway's backed up with traffic. Now my intuition was still telling me to take the highway, but use my intellect. Said no, let's go local. And immediately my stomach's in knots because I hear the sirens, I see the flashing lights, and because I didn't trust my intuition, it cost me $150 speeding ticket. And my daughters to this day call me Speedy Pants.
Okay. Well, okay, great tactics. So to be able to develop your intuition to see it, and maybe that's the thing, to be able to, well, to see it, to feel it. For some people, it's the way that it feels, where you feel it in your body. For
Yep.
others, it might be these signs that you see out in the world. There's these. I think it's different for everyone. So there's the
It
internal and
is.
external. But if you can follow these nods, these winks from the universe, if you can follow the feeling in your body and realize, when I feel it here, this means this. And I love your
Yeah.
point about starting small, things that maybe they're not big dramatic decisions, but you can test this. That's a great tactic.
Yeah. So I actually talk about this in that chapter in the book or in the Nine Money Rules Millionaires Use. So taking some baby steps to trust your intuition more.
Mm,
And yeah, where are you feeling it? So when something works, so so my book is all about my career as a hedge fund manager, right? And so I trusted my intuition to make investments.
mm,
And I started small. I was managing, you know, my own hedge fund had over $25 million. So I started with a small amount of 100,000 or 10,000 to start and see like, okay, this feels right. And then, I feel it, like I feel tingling. That's my
uh-huh.
good feeling. Or if I feel like constraint, maybe that's my bad feeling. So check it and write it down and see what you're feeling in your body. And then the next time you get that feeling did it work?
Mm,
And check. And like you said, sometimes it's external. You're getting signs. I get signs almost every day. For example, this morning, I do a lot of multitasking. So I'm reading my book, which is about gratitude, not my book, but a book about
mhm.
gratitude. And and I'm also listening to my audio files because I practice what I preach, and these are the files I give to my clients. So I'm listening and reading the book, and exactly as the audio file said family, I read the word family. So that's happened to me a lot. And it's so, okay, I'm in the right place at the right time. Trust the process. You're in the right place at the right time. And that's what it means to me. Have faith. Have faith in the journey. And so what
Nice.
signs you getting? Be open to those synchronicities, those signs, the magic, because it's all
Oh, the
around us.
magic. That's a great way of putting it. Be open to the magic. Okay, so for the stage owners, because where you speak, where you do the keynote speaks, you help people, you help their audiences. What do the stage owners love from what you bring to their stages, their events?
So, first of all, I generally speak to spiritual, heart centered entrepreneurs,
Mm,
and meaning the Reiki master, the yoga teacher, meditation teacher, life coach, health coach, hypnotist, psychic, energy healer. Those are all past and existing clients
mhm,
and hypnotists. And they have some limiting beliefs around money, and they need to hear the truth about money. And and so when I speak in front of these attendees, these participants, there's a lot of head nodding, a lot of agreement, a lot of need for a shift in the money mindset. And so I just spoke at the NYU Langone Revitalized Wellness Summit last week, and there were almost 100 people in the room, and everyone shaking their head and acknowledging that the statements I was making for them, they grew up as truths. They didn't know any
mm.
different. And so there's more engagement. There's people who are changing their mindset in real time while I'm speaking. right? And I'm giving techniques that they can walk away from the presentation with and actually change their lives right after the presentation. So I usually give actionable items that they take away. So, if they want to work with me, great. But if not, they walk away with a shift in mindset, a shift in belief, and they're taking action, which is what we just talked about. They're now
Yeah.
getting clarity because they're taking the action as they walk away from the presentation.
Ah, fantastic. And then how does that help the event organizers as well, the people that bring you in?
Well, they're getting engaged people. People want to hear me speak. People want want those changes, right? And there are other health practitioners there that are giving actionable things to do. But what I say is you can't serve if you don't eat. You can't serve if you're not eating,
Mm,
right? So these people who are struggling, who are doing really good in the world and but not charging an appropriate amount, they're not going to be able to survive if they don't change their money mindset. So I think it's a win-win-win, right? We're helping the other people who are in the audience, the other practitioners, and the events are we're filling seats. That's the biggest thing, right? They're getting people to come to their events because everyone wants to be more prosperous, even if they have been taught differently. Even if
mm.
they've been taught that, oh, if I'm spiritual, I should be okay with just getting by. If they're struggling and in stress, and money is, I think, the number one stressor on this earth.
Yeah. So from your perspective, what was it about this coaching that made you change your business model and be like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to help people. What was that like for you?
So, well, I shut down my hedge fund to do this. And some may say I had my dream life. I had my dream job, actually. If you had asked me 1993, what's your dream? I would have said money manager, a hedge fund manager. And I was doing it.
Mm,
I did it for 8 years. And I was living the dream of, I will say, 99.9% of the universe, right? It was like I was doing my dream job, whistling to work, tap dancing, as Warren Buffett used to say, tap dancing to work, and just smiling and having fun. And I went to a personal development course, and there was a guy standing on stage in front of 200 people, lying to them, telling them there's only one way to get rich. And of course, that's stock options. And he said, you don't need much time, you don't need much money. This is how the rich people get rich, and options are essentially risk free. And I was sick to my stomach. There were people tapping me on the shoulder, whispering me, Joel, does this make sense? And so I was polite after he was done. We went out of the auditorium. I told him, please don't do this. He has no idea about any of you individually, and most importantly, no idea about your belief
mm.
about stock options. And so went home that night, couldn't sleep. 4 o'clock in the morning, it hit me. I realized if I could ever get up the courage to speak on a stage, because my biggest fear that day was public speaking, I could teach people the truth about money, not lie to them, and be of service.
Joel, so what was it that helped you to break that or to get that courage?
I saw what was going on, and I knew I needed to help these people. It was from a place of service. It was, okay, these 200 people don't know what I know.
Yeah.
And they were never taught about finances. They never, went to school or became a chartered financial analyst or actuary and have the
Uh-huh.
background. And so I wanted to use the knowledge that I've gotten over the years to tell them the truth about money, that they can have it all, but for 200 people, three of them might become rich using stock options. But for the other 197, it's probably more likely to be their business or something else, or real estate or stocks or whatever.
So it's alignment. So for those three people, just happened to the stars were aligned. They had the right mindset, they had the right situation, had the right support. The stars were all aligned. No one tells you about that. So it sounds like your value of service was greater than your fear. So once, I mean, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago as well on the podcast. The for entrepreneurs to get out of your own way, because how dare you hold back your support, your service. There are people out there that need you. There are
Yes.
people out there that need you. Your family needs you to succeed, but there are people, your potential clients, those people that listen to you, they how dare you hold this back? And I
Yeah.
say that playfully, but also quite sternly. And you're a good example of this, that there's potential for a version of you to be, it's too big. I can't do this. I'm too scared. I'm too worried through mindset, pillar number one, but to do it anyway, even though to see that you're,
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
yeah, to enjoy
Great,
the
great
fear.
book by Susan Jeffers. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And the other thing I just say is, yes, if you're a spiritual or heart-centered entrepreneur who's
Mm,
watching, listening to this, and you're not as visible, you're not getting on podcasts, you're not speaking, you're not doing the social media posts, you're being selfish. You're being selfish because there are people, probably hundreds, if not thousands of people who are out in the world waiting for you to be more visible because they'll only heal because of you. Now, you may say, well, there's other hypnotists, there's other health coaches, the other blah, blah, blah. But I will tell you that there are thousands of people that only resonate with you and how you're teaching it. And
mm.
so by you're being selfish because there are people that are waiting for you to be healed, to be healthier because of you, and you're hiding.
So that people need to hear it on the 11th time when you're the one that says it, it may drop in, or they hear it in a British accent, and that makes sense for them. Whatever it might be for everyone, there is these for you to be able to be that person. Um, and I love the way you brought that in. So let's flip this around now. Looking forward. I mean, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited to help more people become financially free. My mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. And so the more stages I can get on, the more podcasts I can get on, the more change I can make in the world. And so I have some pretty audacious dreams, right? And
Hmm.
so it's starting. And we I started a bit right after my second book in 2019, The Nine Money Rules
Mm.
Millionaires Use, and the world shut down. And so I started going online and I've spoken in front of 400 people online, but it's just a different energy. There's more impact, I truly believe, by being in person and shaking the hand and giving the hug and people coming up to me after the speech, like they did last week, and asking me questions and then seeing me in the hall and ask me more questions. It's the
Yeah.
accessibility. Like we'll get off here this podcast, and anyone who's watching doesn't have access to me directly, here. And so it's just a different vibration, a different frequency, different energy. And even though you can work at it and say, oh, time and space is a human construct, it's still great to be in the same time and space with others. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And it's my biggest challenge too, right? I know that I need to be speaking in front of 400 people in person. I need to be
Yeah.
speaking in front of 1,000 people or 5,000 people in person around the globe, because
Mm.
it's not just in the US that people are struggling with money mindset issues, it's everywhere.
Yeah. So you need to be speaking in front of these collectives of people. So what you really need right now is the connections with the people who have those audiences, that have those stages. So for those people who have a shared mission for you, who want you to be maybe to come onto their stage, into their event, give so much value, help their audience with this specific nugget, if you will, that probably complements the work that they're doing. How do they reach out? How do they find you?
Well, Salamor.com, SALAURMOR.com. So my company name is named after my daughters. So LAUR for Lauren, MOR for Morgan. I swear they were just born yesterday, but they're 22 and 20 now. And so, yeah, so that's the best way. Feel free to text the numbers here too. And love, what I'd love is anyone who's listening who's struggling, who wants to change their money mindset and jump on a call with me. For the first 11, we'll create an individualized roadmap to an extra
Hmm.
$10,000 in the next 30 to 60 days. So just it's a complimentary call. This is normally $997, but I want to gift it to Mark's listeners and viewers. So that's for you guys. First 11, jump on a call and let's create more abundance for you.
Fantastic. Well, Joel, that's very, very generous of you. So that link to the Acuity calendar will be in the show notes. Um, and again, the cell number is 917-520-8703. Reach out to Joel. Say Mark sent you. Start the conversation, whether you're looking for his help and support or you have a stage, an event that needs someone like Joel to give his experience. And again, look, Joel, so thank you so much for this episode. I've We've covered so much. I really enjoyed it. So thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mark. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome.